viewers. This is Muita, your health advisor with True Living Show. Welcome. And today we are going to have an interactive show where there will be questions and answers. And let me start with when you reach age 40, the screens that they are necessary to be done. So I'll start the first one and I'll explain it to what it is. The first one, when you reach age 40, and what I mean by age 40 is when you hit 40, 41, 45, 50, and so on and so forth. The first test or the screen which you should do, either when you go to your doctor or by yourself, is the BMI. So what I mean by BMI, first of all, BMI means body mass index. Body mass index is when you get your weight divided by your height. Those two, they should be proportional. So if your weight is on the range of 18.5 and 24.9, then you are on the normal range. When it's below 18, then you are underweight. When it's above 25, you are overweight. So it's a good determinant to know where do I stand. And the reason for doing that is because when you reach age 40, your metabolism slows down. And that's why you find that even places where you never used to have fat, you have fat at that particular age going henceforth. And because we are having an interactive show, I'm waiting to hear any comment or any question, and then we move on.
Dena kiuria guria kiji BMI. BMI, does it mean BMI eo, is it a number that gives you where your health is at? Kana huthiaga atia tondu kaige the term BMI mono it's foreign to us na ithu tutikoragwo tumiui, koguo it's better like you break it down for us niguo tukamenya what is this BMI and why is it slowing, and why is it important to have it at 40, to have it checked at 40?
It's important tondu riri uraihu waku no tungu waku uritu waku niciagirwo gutwarana, tondu ungikorwo wi muraihu then wi muceke ri itiratwarana, kana wi mutungu na wi muraihu kana itiratwarana, ciagirwo gukorwo igitwarana tondu wina uraihu wa a certain number na warie wa a certain number ciagirwo gutwarana. Noguo ni kuminia atiriri ungiigirirwo ratiri-ini ri na urugamio uria uraihite ri, are they proportional?
No nginya namba icio itwarane.
No nginya iria itwarane. That's the reason. Na wabagia gucekwo muno no wone BMI yaku at any age, but 40 niyo njega tondu niguo mwiri waku wabagia kwi behave indifferently. Tondu riria wari 20, kiria wariaga ciiga ciaku no ciakuraga, koguo ringi weight ukoragwo na mwiri wikarite uria kwagirire.
Indo ciothe ni iraruta wira
na indo ciothe ni iraruta wira. Koguo ni ta gicungi, wagura gicungi gikieru ri gicungaga cai wega. Koguo na mwiri uyu uria we wa 20 na 30 ri ni urutaga wira wega. No wakinyia 40 ri wambagia go slow down na niwe tureta metabolism. So hau niho tuokira uhoro wa BMI. Then we'll move on to depression screening. So it is very, very necessary when you reach 40 to be done a depression screening. You can be done at your doctor's visit. You can also be asked by any health provider when you visit them. And why it is necessary, it's because when you reach 40, we know very well that midlife crises, they start popping up when you are 40. At any culture or any country, when you are 40, that's where most people, the depressions show it with a large number of population. The reason is, rĩrĩa wakinyia 40 nĩguo ũkoragwo wetereirwo nĩ ciana either ciraingĩra high school kana ci college irakũnindi mũno financially, nĩguo ũrambia kwĩmenya. That's when also the community need you most. That's where most leadership is shown. So it's like nĩmĩaka ĩrĩa ĩragwo ya degree. It's like the community needs you, your family needs you, you need yourself, and that the time wabagia kuona also growth yaku. And it's very, very dangerous time tondũ nĩyo mũndũ wabagia nginya rĩu gwĩ compare na arĩa maciarirwo nao, arĩa mathomaga nao, arĩa me community-inĩ. So rĩrĩa twaragia ũhoro wa depression, we know depression is on many ways. So situational depression is very prevalent when you're 40, because that's when, because of this midlife crisis, many people divorces. Also, many people working on their careers, they might lose their jobs. They have too many dependents. And so, hĩndĩ ĩyo nĩguo andũ aingĩ magĩaga na depression, kana nĩguo raithi kũgũrũka, twaria na Gĩkũyũ. So, that's when you need to be done that screen if you have never been done. But it's doable at any stage. But that's if it has never been done on you, ask your doctor or anybody to do it on you. You can do a screen. It can also be on a question of questionnaire, and that way you re-evaluate and evaluate yourself if there are things you need to change, if it's coping skills, kana kugarurira muturire, kana kuona therapist, niguo ndugagithie uguo ukithukane makiria kana ukiguruke makiria. Then we'll move on to another screen which should be done, or you should evaluate yourself with, or a test, is about smoking, taking alcohol, and abusing other drugs. Other drugs could be, in this country, we have cocaine, heroin, pain medications. So when you reach age 40, it's when many people abuses those three things. I'm talking about alcohol and smoking. It can be smoking of marijuana or cigarettes, and then abusing of all the other drugs. And nowadays there is a lot of abuse on drugs, alcohol, and all that. So when you started abusing alcohol when you are 20, because your body is still young and growing, you can easily hide it. It's not seen. Some people even, they smoke other things. By the time they are 20, 30, you don't exactly know. Some family members or friends, they suspect. But when you reaches 40, people start seeing changes, because that's like a stage where people, they start knowing themselves. They start going to that line, I don't care about other people, I care about myself. Then there is midlife crisis. So that's the stage where somebody can go way off abusing alcohol or drugs or smoking too much. So it's a stage where there's too much pressure going on. So if somebody was using alcohol or drugs, they can exaggerate and use it more. So it's a good time to be evaluated for that. If there is any comment, we can move on. We can hear it, or we move on. I don't think there is anything like that. And don't even forget to go down there and press the subscribers button and subscribe. Then we'll move on HIV. That's another screen which should be done, which is very, very important for everybody at that stage of 40 years to know their status. I don't know whether there will be any question or any comment on that, so that we can be able to move on.
HIV. Why is it necessary at 40? At 40, settled down. Does it mean that new men depression, they are playing away matches, kana nimadia kanaja, kana maudo tamau. Kana, why is it necessary at 40? About HIV before 40. Why after 40?
Kĩũria kĩega, tondũ after 40 toiga nĩ hĩndĩ mũndũ akoragwo akĩmenya. Koguo ona at that stage, both male and female, mũndũ ambia kwĩmenya. Some people experiment, tondũ ũrenda kũmenya ũrĩa ũtaroĩ kana ũrĩa ũroĩ, na nĩ tũiga ũhoro wa middle life crisis. So it's a dangerous time. So because when you are not trying there, but your partner might try. And also, ungekorwo ndũĩ status ici yaku, maybe you got married when you were very young, you never did that test. It's a good time to reevaluate, because sometimes back people used to do it when they used to travel, but nowadays it's not necessary, recommendation to be done. Nikio, it's good to know, tondũ na mwĩrĩ naguo nĩ ũratuĩka weak as you're growing old, so that if you're positive on something like that, then you can start taking medication, antivirals, you can start eating well, you can start checking on your medical ways. And that's why it's necessary to do that screen. And also at 40, when people are divorcing or when people are changing their lifestyle, they change your sexual partners at that stage. Although, you should know your HIV status at all times. Then we'll move on to blood pressure checks. So when you hit 40, it's a good time to know your blood pressure status. And in that way, you will either know whether you have any cardiac issues, or as we had previously sometimes back talked about blood pressure, we know it's a disease which is a silent killer. And because by the time you hit 40, let's say your cholesterol was high, or you have been taking a lot of salt, or you are overweight, because we talked about BMI. We just said it's that stage when you reach 40, you start having pressure from all corners. So that's the time you can easily have gotten your blood pressure. So it's always good to know your hypertension status, your blood pressure numbers, and that way you'll be able to adjust your lifestyle. You won't live like the way you are living when you are 30, because that time your metabolism was okay. Your body wasn't used to many other things. So I think that one is a must. You should know what is your numbers for your blood pressure, even when you go to your doctor, when you go to any medical provider. And if there is any comment or question on that, I'm ready for it.
Nĩngũkũria ũhoro wa high blood pressure na tuge mĩrimũ ĩno ĩkoragwo ya nginyanĩrio, tondũ kaingĩ ũngĩona high blood pressure ĩkoragwo ĩ mĩrimũ ya kĩ-family. Does it mean kaingĩ ĩhitaga mũndũ akinyia 40 kana nĩ atĩa gũthiaga? Tondũ nĩ ũra-emphasize mũno andũ mathimwo at 40. Tarĩu korwo gwitũ kwĩ blood pressure kũrĩ andũ mena hypertensive rate. Does it mean it will kick in when people are at their 40 kana nĩ atĩa gũthiaga? Genetic.
Okay, blood pressure oguo tugaga rĩ nĩ inyitaga andũ aingĩ nĩ ũndũ wa genetically. Tuge cũcũ wanyu arĩ nayo, guka wanyu, aciari aku, sister na brother. You can also easily get it because it's also a disease which is genetically, and also your family rĩ angorwo mũrĩaga irio cina maguta maingĩ rĩ, mũtũire mũrĩte ũguo, cina cumbĩ mũingĩ, cina maũndũ marĩa megũtũma mwĩke atĩa, mũgĩe high blood pressure. So rĩrĩa wĩ mũnini rĩ, tugire gĩthĩi kana metabolism nĩ thiaga na ihenya wega. O ũrĩa ũrakũra rĩ, wakinya 40 rĩ, ndĩraruta wĩra ũrĩa kwagĩrĩire, na nĩ ũgũkorwo wagĩa na maguta maingĩ na macumbĩ maingĩ, na rĩu ona ndũrahota kũ exercise tondũ wĩna too much going on, na pressure nĩ nyingĩ. Na we know stress, pressure nĩ kuga stress.
Na mĩkiha ĩgakundera.
Tondũ maguta nĩ maingĩhire mũno marĩa ũrĩte 30, na rĩu woka 40. Koguo rĩ nĩho tũroiga andũ aingĩ hau nĩho mambagia kũgĩra blood pressure, na tondũ nĩ silent killer rĩ, by the time makinyĩte 50 rĩ marwarĩte makarwara. Koguo nĩ wega kwambagia kũmenya 40 nĩguo wambie gũcenjia lifestyle, wambie gwĩthondeka nĩguo ũgĩthiĩ na mbere rĩ, tondũ nĩ ũgũkĩenda gũgĩikara 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, ndikĩũĩ kana kwĩ angĩ marenda gũkinya 120, nĩguo ũkinyie o wĩ mwega. Koguo wambie gwĩthondeka kuma wĩ 40 gũthiĩ na mbere. Gwĩciria hau hihi nĩ ndacokia kĩũria kĩu wega. And so the other one we'll talk about, the one you should be checked, it's cholesterol screening. So you go to a doctor, they take your blood. Mostly they do it like fasting, like early in the morning. If you had taken your food last night, after midnight you don't take anything, then in the morning they do your blood work so that they can check all the fats in your blood, the bad cholesterol and your good cholesterol. So in that way, you'll know how to change your lifestyle, to eat healthy, to make your good cholesterol more than your bad cholesterol. So it's a good time to know. I know, the cholesterol screening or test, it's done early 20s. They start further than that. But when you're 40, it is very, very necessary to start taking care of yourself and to be knowing the numbers. So that in that way, you'll be able to protect yourself. Mekiha etige kubroku, niguo mundu ndakagie stroke, which is heart attack, na mundu ndakagie na
blood clots.
Yes, blood clots, it's part of it. Ndakagie na mini strokes also. Na ndukake broku mekiha. So that's what it is about cholesterol. Nĩguo no menye kana nĩ ũkwambia kũnyuaga ndawa ya guikurukia cholesterol ĩrĩa njũru na kwambatia cholesterol ĩrĩa njega nĩguo wĩikare wĩ healthy.
Koguo ũrĩa ndanyita haha nĩ kuga atĩ koguo rĩrĩ ũngĩrorwo cholesterol ĩno nĩ ku avoid mĩrimũ mĩingĩ mũno ĩrĩa yũkanagia na ũingĩ wa maguta thĩinĩ wa mĩkiha.
Ũguo waiga nĩguo. Tondũ rĩrĩa warorwo cholesterol yoneka ĩ hakuhĩ gũkinya he level ĩrĩa yagĩrĩire, nĩ ũkwambia kũrĩaga indo itarĩ na maguta. Tondũ rĩrĩa andũ aingĩ lifestyle makinyia 40 athuri na atumia nĩ marĩaga nyama, tondũ indo iria icamaga wega nĩcio ikoragwo itarĩ njega, ta nyama ici red meat, irio nyingĩ ciĩna maguta especially today. Koguo nĩ wega mũno kũmenyaga indo iria ũrĩrĩaga, more of the vegetables, more of food which has vitamin B's, because B's nĩ nyingĩ. Ũkarĩaga irio iria cigũikũrũkia cholesterol, ũgatigaga kũrĩa iria irongerera cholesterol nyingĩ. The other one also which should be done is the diabetes check. Umenye cukari waku ũikarĩire ha. It can be done. You can do, you can do a normal check. There was a time we had done about diabetes. So there was those numbers where you can be checked blood sugar in the morning before you eat. So there was a range, yana baishio. Arafu, there is one called A1C test, which should be done maybe after 6 months or 1 year. Na muno ĩkagwĩrwo rabu kana kwa ndagĩtarĩ, ũgaikaraga ũkĩmenyaga kana wĩ diabetic or are you pre-diabetic or where you standing, nĩguo wambie kũmenyaga atĩrĩrĩ, nĩ ndĩrĩaga indo ina cukari mũingĩ, nĩ ndĩrĩaga processed foods, especially the carbs, wambie kũrĩaga ũrĩa kwagĩrĩire. Na muno o ũrĩa tũkugĩte BMI, these things they correlate with the weight and the height. So that's another test. Then if there is any comment or any question, then we'll move on. I don't hear anything from my live audience. But then another test is mammogram for ladies. When you reach 40, that's a screen where, you do a breast exam. You can also do your own, at home. You do physically checking your breast. If you feel there is any lump or something abnormal, you can tell your doctor. But you should be booking the mammogram, because that's the screen to test for any cancer in your breast. And if you have any, that's the stage where most breast cancers, they start popping up. So it's always good to know about that test. So I don't know if there is any comment or any question on that one. And we have come to the end of our show. Don't forget to subscribe on True Living Show every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern African time and 1 p.m. Eastern time. Subscribe. Thank you.